Namaste. What I'm about to read to you are not my words. I'm reading them from paper, verbatim, because I don't want any message distortion. I want it to be pure information. So I will be reading, like I said, verbatim. All right. This self-proclaimed Illuminati insider appeared on the above top secret forum in October 2008, giving away information about the Illuminati agenda and their goals. The reason for this, he says, is because time is right for us to know some of what is going on behind the scenes. And when he explains why he needs to reveal it now, it's very convincing. In this article, I will post the dialogue between the above top secret forum members and Hidden Hand in its entirety. When you read it, you need to have an open mind. You can't be stuck in a dogma or think you have it all figured out already, because it doesn't matter what he says, you won't believe it. Here are some points which makes him believable. One being that the four members he's communicating with make up pages after pages of random questions, and he answers them intelligently and precisely without the delay it would take for a person presenting a hoax to come up with them. He's also consistent. Many of the questions are very good, deep, and to the point and philosophical. And this guy, or woman, we don't know, this being claims not to be from Earth, manages to reply on a very deep level, and his answers don't contradict each other. I keep stuttering, sorry. In an advanced and intelligent dialogue like this, it's very unlikely anyone would be able to do that without giving himself away at some point. You will most certainly notice he or she is sincere. So by the way, I read this, started reading this 2 nights ago and last night, and once I got to the end of it, I wish that there was more. I'm not going to be reading it all in this video because, as you can see, there's like 100 pages. So I guess I'm just going to keep posting this up part by part. Anyway, okay. So, all right. So basically what it is the four members ask questions and he has to answer them because according to, apparently it's just our right to know. But he can't just give information. We have to ask him the questions. Yeah, so I don't think this is... Okay, anyway, I'll go. Ever wondered who is on top of the pyramid? He gives a clue. The bloodline he represents is well above the Rothschilds in power and in the hierarchy, and is extraterrestrial in origin. So keep in mind, we're not talking about the planets in our solar system. We're talking about planets in different galaxies, in different dimensions, like... So, okay. This will make more sense as I keep reading, and remember, keep an open mind. This is especially important to people that haven't heard anything like this or haven't done any research. For me, this makes sense because I have been doing this sort of research and I'm fully into this and believe it. So if you're one of those people that thinks that there's only life on Earth and there is no life after death, then this is going to probably be shocking for you, number one, or number two, you're not going to believe it. But it's really valuable information. I actually printed it out just today and I titled it My Bible. And I'm Catholic, my religion is Catholic, and this is what I believe now, and it's great. Alright, I'll get to the point now. Okay, the 13 bloodlines we have been talking about thus far on this website and others, with the Rothschilds in the top position together with the Merovingian nobility, are quite low rank in the big pyramid structure, and are the ones playing a power game here on Earth. Only aware of parts of the big game, need to know basis. The bloodline Hidden Hand is supposedly belonging to is way more advanced and higher rank. I really think this being believes in what he is saying, and whether he has deceived himself to some degree or not, this is most probably what is driving the Illuminati. These are their goals. It leaves you with a pretty strange feeling after you've read it all, but deep inside it rings true. His answers may need to be read more than once to understand the different layers of what he's telling us. Afterwards, when you start connecting the dots, you notice that a lot of pieces in the big puzzle that previously were missing and left unanswered suddenly fit. Okay. It's been hard to perceive what ultimately drives Illuminati. Greed, yes. Power, of course. Control, yes. But you always have this feeling that there's a deeper mystery behind their great work of the ages. This may very well be the answer. All right, so the dialogue begins. Okay. First session. So he calls himself Hidden Hand, which is the group. HH. He says, I'm a generational member of a ruling bloodline family. Every so often, as per the directives of the law of our Creator, a brief window of opportunity opens, whereby a select handful of our family are required to make communication with our subjects and offer you the chance to ask us any questions you would like answered. I am double bound in this duty. It is required of me by the law of our Creator to offer this opportunity to you at this time, though I am also bound by the law of planetary free will and by family oaths, that there is only so much I am able to say. Rules define life in games. If you wish to participate, here they are. Number 1, I will afford you courtesy and respect in the manner I address you, and I expect the same for you in reciprocation. Number 2, I will decide whether or not I am willing or permitted to answer your question. If your question is not answered, it is either because I cannot disclose it, or because I considered your question was lacking in one or more of the following: respect, courtesy, intelligence, decency, or that it was otherwise unworthy of being dignified with a response. Number 3, that you agree to treat this potential dialogue with an aspect of provisional faith. In practice, this means that rather than impeding the flow of information with crass comments or disbelief or petty name-calling, my participation here requires of you that you discourse with me under suspended judgment. In other words, wait until the process is complete before deciding for yourself as to the content of truth and knowledge imparted herein. Number 4, that you formulate your questions intelligently. My time is limited. I do not want to waste my time by having to trawl through pointless, futile, insensible, or disrespectful questions. Therefore, I will answer the questions I feel are most deserving of a response during that time I have available. Use the time we have wisely. If any of the above conditions are breached, I reserve the right to terminate our discourse forthwith, if I so choose. That being said, I will attempt to answer your questions as honestly and openly as permissible for me. I will check back and respond as time allows. Question: how many generations back does your bloodline extend? Or perhaps more accurately, who does your family consider its earliest ancestor in a position of power? Hidden Hand response: our lineage can be traced back beyond antiquity, from the earliest times of your recorded history and beyond. Our family has been directing the play from behind the scenes in one way or another. Before the rise and fall of Atlantis, yes, that was indeed perfectly real. We are born to lead. It is part of the design for this current paradigm. Question: to what extent has selective breeding been used to preserve the purity of the line, and what becomes of the children of unapproved unions? Answer: the breeding is generally case-specific, dependent upon the role that the family members in question are due to grow into. I will touch more on this in answer to the next poster's question that you rephrased. There are no unapproved unions. Our family will always intermarry between lines, or what we would term houses. Marriages are arranged. In all my years alive, I have never seen or heard a family member breaking this code as far as marriage goes. You do as you are told. One cannot join the family. One is born or incarnated into it. So the questions get a lot more interesting. For sure, they get a lot more interesting. This is just the beginning, but I think I'm going to leave the intro to that, and I'll post another video soon. Thanks, guys, and namaste.